Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Fighting anti-Semitism, eye-catching billboards are now popping up across Metro Detroit, trying to send a powerful message. Those billboards come amid a rise in anti-Semitic incidents across the country.
According to the Anti-Defamation League, reports of anti-Semitic harassment, vandalism, and assault are up 34% from 2020. Our Pamela Osborne is live in Clinton Township along I-94. So, Pamela, how many billboards are we talking about here?
Well, there are a total of 5 billboards. There are 2 different messages on those billboards. You'll see they went up just this week. But the woman behind them, she's actually all the way in New York State. So we wanted to talk to her to figure out why these billboards ended up here and what it means. Take a listen.
Can a billboard end anti-Semitism? No, but you are not a billboard. This is one of 2 powerful messages raised this week along several Metro Detroit freeways. Archie Gottesman is the woman behind the campaign designed to raise awareness about a rise in anti-Semitic acts and sentiments.
Instead of just saying stop anti-Semitism, we could have said that, but that's not catching people. We live in a world where message matters.
The other billboard calls attention to the Holocaust. It reads, "We're just 75 years since the gas chamber." So no, a billboard calling out Jew hate isn't an overreaction. Gottesman, who's based in New York, chose Detroit and a handful of other cities to place these messages with the idea of promoting peace, combating hate, and making people feel seen. According to the Anti-Defamation League, 112 anti-Semitic incidents were reported throughout the state last year. This year, we're expected to surpass that number.
There is a rise all over the country and maybe all over the world in anti-Semitism and anti-Semitic acts. And it's very concerning to the Jewish community. And
we spoke with Rabbi Asher Lopatin, Executive Director of the Jewish Community Relations Council American Jewish Committee. He's concerned by the rise in hate he's seen here, too. The billboards, he says, are a good first step in alerting people to the problem.
The next step is really to connect more and more with all the different communities out there who really want to work together and want to fight hatred.
And Rabbi Asher says that work is well underway. He told us about some of the projects he's working with community members. These signs, they're going to be up for the next 4 weeks, but certainly the people behind them hope this is just the very beginning of a conversation and some action. Reporting live in Clinton Township tonight, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Yeah. Okay, Pam, thanks.
Tonight, the St. Clair County Sheriff's Office has a mystery on its hands. Someone has hijacked the department's official Twitter account and has decided to tweet anti-LGBT content to an actress. Mara McDonald in Port Huron tonight. Does anybody know what happened, Mara?
Well, the sheriff sure would like to know. You know, this is a department that does not tweet very often. Its last official one was in May of this year. That is until somebody started up yesterday. The department at this hour says it is locked out of its own Twitter account and it's been hijacked by an unknown user, which is why these tweets are still up. Yesterday, someone responded under the department's account to a tweet from an actress named Hillary Burton Morgan that she made 3 years ago. Burton Morgan is lamenting being let go from the Hallmark Channel, she says, over her insistence on an LGBTQ character and more diverse casting. The Sheriff's Department account then tweeting this at her and more, referencing a former Full House star who went to work for a network that will keep, quote, traditional marriage at its core. The department's account tweeting this out as well. A supervisor at the department telling us tonight the problem has been reported to Twitter, but they're powerless to remove it until Twitter restores the account to the department. In an official statement, the department says it should be known that we do not support any of these tweets. Back here live, in talking to one of the supervisors at the department tonight, he told me when I asked, I said, do you guys think this is coming from in-house? Do you think there's somebody in here that is tweeting this? They do not. They do not think this is somebody who is a member of the department. So there's more to find out, but they're in the process of dealing with Twitter support, and it's going kind of slowly. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Crazy time for Twitter means a crazy time for the department as well right now. All right, Mara.
New charges in the sex abuse investigation involving a local doctor who's worked with youth hockey players. Dr. V Levren has been arrested for a second time. He's facing 10 new charges of second, third, and fourth degree criminal sexual conduct. Since the investigation launched last month, police say they received 33 additional tips. Those complaints coming from several Metro Detroit communities, from 6 states, including Michigan, as well as other states, and as far away as Canada. Officials believe there are likely more victims that have yet to come forward.
There's some barriers that come along with males reporting sexual assault, and some of them could be fear of retaliation depending on how the sexual assault occurred, fear of their status in the community.
Dr. Levren remains behind bars. At last check, anyone with information about the case can call 248-871-2610. We also have that information on our website. Click on Detroit.com.
2 sisters are arrested after a road rage incident in which one of the women threw a hammer at the other's car. Happened around 2 o'clock this afternoon in the area of 10 Mile and Shaner in Warren. Officers say the woman who called police allegedly threw the hammer at her sister's car. They tried to arrest the women. The other women attacked her and the officers. Both women in their 30s were arrested in Detroit, and charges are now pending.
All right, more than a week after the midterm elections, we now know that Republicans will control the House when the new Congress is sworn in on January 3rd.
Associated Press projecting Republicans will win the 218 seats needed to have control, securing what would be a very slim majority, likely putting an end to President Biden's legislative agenda. While Congressman Kevin McCarthy has faced opposition within his own party, he is still expected to be the next Speaker of the House.
Detroiters got the chance to get a preview of a completed portion of the Southwest Greenway project. It's an $8 million project transforming an outdated railway into a non-motorized paved trail. It'll be a mile long, running from Michigan Central in Corktown to the Detroit riverfront. Tonight, the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy and Michigan Central hosted the event showcasing the progress of what's already been made.
This pathway, this sidewalk connects 2 transformational projects. We have one of the icons of Detroit, which is coming back, Michigan Central. Beautiful building. It's going to be incredible when that is done. And it's going to connect to Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Centennial Park, which is going to be the best park anywhere in the state of Michigan, one of the best parks in the country.
It is expected to be completed by next spring. However, a completed portion of the trail will be open to the public sometime later this winter.
Winter, the operative word. A little slick on the roads in parts of the area tonight. This is westbound I-94 near Port Huron.
Yeah, Kim Adams has been tracking the conditions all night long. How are things looking right now, Kim?
Well, things are better here in Metro Detroit, but if you go just a little bit to the north, you do run into quite a bit of snowfall, anywhere from Flint to Saginaw over to Sandusky. This is where they have a winter weather advisory. And then I've turned on the Grand Rapids radar as well, because you can see that lake effect snow coming off Lake Michigan affecting Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids. Here's a look at the advisories. Much of the state under some sort of winter weather advisory, with the exception of right here in Metro Detroit. So the thumb, anywhere you see in purple, that is a winter weather advisory. The pink that you see is a winter storm warning. This early in the season, already a winter storm warning with 6 to 10 inches of snow expected. And you can see it all the way goes up into the UP. Hunters are pretty happy, though, because they will be able to track. There'll be a lot of snow on the ground over the next several days. Now, for the daytime tomorrow, we're going to start out cold because already tonight we're down into the 30s. We're going to drop down below freezing tonight, so the morning commute won't have snow, but there still could be a couple of icy patches, especially on elevated surfaces like bridges and overpasses. And then by 4 o'clock, we're at 37 degrees. Gets colder for the weekend, if you can believe it. Coming up, I'll tell you how cold it's going to get and when it's going to warm back up again in the forecast.